On the remainder problems, what we're looking for is all of the factors that are factors of the number you started with. In this case, the number we're starting with is 22. Now what we're going to do is we are going to find the quotient and the remainder when you do your division. And of course, if it has a remainder of 0, then it is a factor. The number that you divided by is a factor, so that's your divisor. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we will do 22 divided by 1. You can do it on your calculator or whatever you want to do. You end up with exactly 22. Well, if that's the case, there is no remainder. So that gives you 22. I'm going to try to squeeze it in here with a remainder of 0. If we do 22 divided by 2, that gives us 11. And notice there's no decimal or anything on it, so there is, again, no remainder. So this is going to be 11 remainder of 1. Now, when you do the next one, 22 over 3, I'm going to punch it in on my calculator. You get 7.3333, and so on. So that gives us a 7 in the first blank. But to find the remainder, we're going to take the 0.333 and carry out all the decimal places that your calculator will do, and multiply it by what you divided by, which is 3. So when you do that, you end up with remainder of 1. So this can be 7 remainder 1. Then if we do 22 divided by 4, so 22 divided by 4 comes out 5.5. So again, the 5 is your quotient. Your remainder is going to be 0.5 times what you divided by, which was 4, which gives you 2. So that's a remainder of 2. So that's how you fill in those blanks. Now, when you're filling in the factors in, all you have to do is look for what numbers divided evenly and what was the result when you did. So the factors of 22 well, we started at 1, and if you think about it, that was 1 times 22, so 22 is also a factor. Then we have 2, and 2 times 11, so 11 was a factor. 3 was not a factor, 4 is not a factor. We really don't need to go any farther than that, because you only have to go up to the biggest perfect square, and then take the square root of it to see which value it is. What I mean by that is 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. Well, 5 squared is bigger than 22, so we don't need to go that far. As far as we have to go is to the 4 squared, so 4 is the last value we have to check when we're looking for factors. And since 4 doesn't work, because it was 5 remainder of 2, then we don't have to worry about it. So our factors are going to be 1, 2, 11, and 22. Now, when you have another problem, and I'm sorry this is going to kind of look weird up here, but let's say we're doing 17, and we want to do the same thing. Well, when you go through and do all the divisions, you're going to have divided by 1 is 17 with a remainder of 0. So it's a remainder of 0. So 17 and 1 are factors. Nothing else is going to be a factor, though. So if you do 17 divided by 2, you get 8.5. And the remainder is going to come from 0.5 times 2, which is 1. 17 divided by 3 5.66, basically 6 repeating, which is the remainder of 0.6 repeating, times 3, which is 2. And 17 divided by 4. Again, that's as high as you need to go because 4 squared is 16. 5 squared would be too big. So 4 is as far as you need to go. 4.25. So the remainder is going to be 0.25 times the divisor, which is 4, which is 1. So you notice they all have remainders. So what that tells you is the factors of 17 is prime. The only factors are 1 and 17. Hopefully this helps clear up these problems, and take a stab at it and see how it goes.